Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
It's the WHOW Morning Show. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the Zoom in this segment is Emily Phillips with United Way. Emily, thanks for taking time out of your morning to join us today. How you doing?
Absolutely. Hi, Ben. Doing great. Busy planning first time event that we went to the United Way Champagnes event that they've been doing over a decade, and we're like, we want to replicate this. It's amazing. So we're really excited about it. It's called Power of the Purse, coming up April 9th. So just a few weeks away, and it is very time consuming if you've ever planned an event.
Yeah.
The first time can be a little daunting, but we're excited. We have over 120 purses right now. So yeah.
Awesome. Nice. Well, we'll jump into that power the purse event in just a little bit. But before we get into that, I just want to talk a little bit about what United Way is. You know, we just got to see you at the Clinton Chamber of Commerce Business Expo last night, and I'm curious, what kind of questions were people asking you? You know, tell us a little bit about United Way and what you guys do.
Sure. So our overall goal, we envision a community where everyone has the opportunity to be self-sufficient. We want to empower people through effective integrated solutions. So whether that's the solutions that the United Way provides directly, or through our partner agencies to provide absolute necessary services to these communities. Every one of the programs that we invest in, our agencies go through a rigorous process to really show that they're providing actual tangible outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
So when we encourage people to donate to the United Way, we call it an investment because you're really investing in your community and you want to see a return on that investment. So specifically, Neighborhood Care Center in the Clinton area, we've invested a lot with that program. We've been able to tour the facility. They have just an unbelievable, top-notch wraparound services there.
Mm-hmm.
So they're way beyond just a market or a food bank that provides food for their individuals.
Mm-hmm.
But they really go above and beyond to say, what else do you need? What else can we help with? Whether that's, economic support or clothing referrals or, maybe mental health services, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It could be help with job placements, just all over the board, ways to support an individual and help them either get through a crisis or help them, move to the next level where they maybe don't need as many services in the future.
Yeah, definitely. I like that early on there you use the word empower. You know, when you're in this kind of industry or this area, it's about more than just leading the horse to water, right? You know, it's about building that person up. Can you speak to that use of the word empower and what that means to you guys a little more?
Absolutely. I think there's been so many individuals living paycheck to paycheck, myself included, and it's just really hard to kind of make ends meet sometimes, especially when you're first starting out or have some kind of crisis situation come up. So that's one of the things that we focus on with the ALICE project. So that stands for Asset Limited Income Constrained but Employed. So again, kind of what used to be like the working poor. So people that don't necessarily meet the government standards to get a ton of other assistance. We're able to help them. Maybe it's a single mom trying to get to work for the first time and needs a gas card or work boots or what have you. We talked a little bit right before we jumped on the interview. McElroy Metal in Clinton is a huge supporter of the United Way. They do an employee campaign, and they were able to present a $4,000 campaign. And then after the fact, they had an individual who needed some assistance. So we were able to kind of point them in the right direction and see if there was options there of how that individual could get some services. So I say that to say when you do invest in the United Way, you could be helping a colleague, you could be helping a neighbor,
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes we do presentations at Caterpillar or wherever, and we get a lot of calls after that people need help. So our number one goal is kind of awareness, and we are just wanting to reach out in DeWitt County. I should back up to with the United Way of Decatur and Mid-Illinois, we cover 5 counties.
Mm,
So Macon, Piatt, DeWitt, Moultrie, and Shelby counties.
mhm,
And then we actually help Christian County with their Dolly Parton Imagination Library. They wanted to do that program, but didn't have United Way that was able to support it.
mm.
So we were able to help support that. So yeah, essentially we just have our finger in the pulse of all the communities that we serve, and just kind of want to let the Clinton and beyond area know that we're here if anybody needs us.
Yeah, gotcha. And so I apologize. I'm going to ask you a little bit of a clarifying question for myself here, and I apologize if this is a stupid question. But so
No stupid question.
when you guys are through this process, are people coming to you guys and saying, I need help, or I have this loved one who needs help? Where can they go? And you're directing them, or is it more of just helping fund those different nonprofits and those different support networks?
Both.
Gotcha.
So if you go to uwdecatur.org, you can see our programs that we have internally. I think I mentioned this might have been before the call or when we were on, but in DeWitt County specifically, we have the Alice Project,
Mhm,
Dolly Parton Imagination Library, and the 211 referral hotline, which is like the social services
mhm,
version of 911.
mhm.
So those are our 3 core within the United Way. And then beyond that, we invest in programs like Neighborhood Lab, Neighborhood Care Center, and beyond. So
Gotcha. So, how do those partnerships with the different support networks come to be? Is it more of you guys reaching out to them, or are they coming to you?
again, a little bit of both. With our partner agencies, we have once a year where they can apply for funding. And then, like I kind of mentioned earlier, they have a rigorous process
Mhm.
that they have to prove the outcomes and who they are and what they do.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And really, prove those solutions for their communities that they're, I mean, everybody's doing great work, but we just really hold people accountable for, what exactly their overall output is.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we definitely need to get into this power of the purse topic here, but I want to make sure that we have time to talk about that after we take the break, so we have a little bit of time to get into it. But as we get into this fundraising topic, I'm curious if you could give us any numbers from 2025. What kind of numbers as far as how much money you guys raised and what that impact looked like
So this is for how much money we raised for the event.
for just last year as a whole, just as an organization. How much money are you guys taking in and stewarding out to these different places?
Great question, and I do not know that answer since I just came on full time in October. I don't know what our overall,
Mhm.
number is specifically, especially for DeWitt County and beyond. But yeah, I can talk after the break about Power of the Purse and our goals, and specifically with the amount of kids that are served with Dolly Parton Imagination Library.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a quick break. More to come on the WHOW Morning Show with Emily Phillips from United Way.
WHOW.
Here's Matt Hart, owner of the Hart Media Group in Clinton.
It's been great. You and Ben and the entire team are doing a great job. And we're just continuing on serving the local community, right? This is what this is all about. We're here to serve our local community. We're here to tell the local stories. We're here to cover the news. So nothing in that regard is changing. Our goal is connecting people. And that's our tagline at Hart Media Group. It's connecting people.
Hart purchased the Miller Media Group in August of 2025 and looks forward to serving the community for years to come.
March into Baum Chevrolet Buick and march out with a new Chevrolet. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton and Farmer City. We have over 20 Silverados to fit your daily work needs in 1500, 2500, and 3500s in gas or diesel, all sale priced. Also, check out the Colorado pickup. This size and maneuverability may be another option as well. Chevrolet, together, let's drive. Baum Chevrolet Buick, right from the start.
DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air and online 24 hours a day. The latest local news stories are heard every hour on Central Illinois' news station, the Big 1520 AM and 92.3 FM WHOW. Stream live at DeWittDailyNews.com. They're also heard every hour on the station that's your easy choice, 95.9 FM WEZC. And to read the latest local news on your electronic device, including tablets, iPhones, and smartphones, go to DeWittDailyNews.com. DeWitt County's #1 source for local news is on the air, online 24 hours a day.
Paul Scourin here, CEO of Warner Hospital. Spring allergies acting up? At Warner Hospital and Health Services, we offer fast treatment to help you breathe easier and feel better fast. Quality care right here, right now. Click on our icon on DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
It's the WHOW Morning Show. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. We continue with my guest on the Zoom in this segment, Emily Phillips with United Way. And Emily, we are talking Power the Purse, which is an upcoming fundraiser that you guys are hosting. Let's talk about what this is going to look like and what we're benefiting here.
Absolutely. So Thursday, April 9th, it's at the Mount Zion Convention Center, and we will have over 120-ish purses. It's going to be really fun. The theme is garden party chic, so kind of an excuse for ladies' night, although we do have some gentlemen joining. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it supports Dolly Parton Imagination Library. So if people aren't familiar, if you know anyone, literally anyone, that has a child, infant to 5 years old, they can sign up for Dolly Parton Imagination Library. It's a free book in the month a free book in the mail every single month until the child ages out at 5, and they're all age appropriate. So their last book is kind of like kindergarten, here we come. But studies show that kids that are exposed to reading and books and all those vocabulary words are just set up for success in the future. I'm blanking on the statistic that I just read, but something about most of a child's brain development is actually birth to 5 years old. So just making sure that kids are exposed to books and reading is so important.
Yeah, definitely. So if people want to get tickets for this event, what can they expect? They're going to have these purses, but tell us a little bit more about, how the purses are involved in the event and what it's all going to be about.
Absolutely. So when they walk in, they get a link to this silent auction, and they'll be able to walk around, check out the purses, see which purse they might want to take home. What's really cool, my favorite part, because I'm not a high-end purse girl, but there's everything from your Target and your, Kohl's purses, all the way up to your Louis Vuittons and your, Ted Bakers, your Brahmins, your Kate Spades. I could go on and on. I've learned a lot about purse brands in the past couple of months.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll pretend like I know all of those.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Well,
but
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to say the people in the purse world know exactly the brands I'm talking about, and they're probably very familiar with, exactly what the value of these are and whether or not that is their style. So we have a style for everyone, a color for everyone, a price point for everyone, which is my favorite part.
Definitely. So where are these purses coming from? How are you guys getting them?
So we've got a lot of donated purses. We also have a ton of sponsors that we're utilizing those funds to purchase these purses so that we have a true variety. And yeah, it's been really fun. I've been joking the past couple months, like, I'm so stressed out. I have to take pictures of purses and go buy purses. And my friends and even the committee members are like, okay, we don't feel sorry for you.
So tell me a little bit about what planning this event has looked like, coming up to this point.
Sure. So it's kind of been drinking through a fire hose, for lack of better words, but we were able to lean on the Champaign United Way team quite a bit since they've been doing this, over a decade and kind of learn from their experiences. But one of their models is to have a purse for every two people.
Mm.
So attendee wise, we'll have a little over 100 or 250 attendees. So that's why we have about 125 purses. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting. Cocktails, gourmet cuisine, elevated atmosphere. We have a pair of diamond earrings from Flora Gems that we'll be
Oh,
raffling. And a bracelet will be associated with one of the purses. So a surprise bracelet will be included with one of the purses. So it doesn't matter if it's a $20 purse or a $200 purse, there could be a bracelet inside.
that's super cool. That's awesome. That's super cool. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit more about ticket information. How can people get those and what's the price point for that?
Sure, absolutely. They can visit uwdecatur.org. Go to our Facebook, United Way of Decatur, Mid-Illinois on Facebook, and there's a ton of links and information. There's even a video with some of the purses being featured. The price point is $60, and the reason we chose that price point is because that covers 4 children on Dolly Parton Imagination Library.
Mhm.
So our hard cost for Dolly Parton is about $15 per child for them to get 12 books in the mail, which is a great price point. You can't go buy 12 books for that price point, but Dolly Parton Imagination Library picks the books, but then we cover the postage, we do the coordination, we buy the books. So
Gotcha.
that's why that is that amount.
Yeah, definitely. So, do you have any goals for, how much money you guys are trying to raise between ticket sales and the silent auction?
Absolutely. Our first year goal is around $50,000. So, yeah, a lofty goal, but that'll cover so many children in the communities that we serve. So, that is our goal. And yeah, I go back to the $15 price point doesn't sound like a huge amount, but when you have, I think we have about 6,000 kids signed up right now.
Wow.
It could be a little bit more than that between the other communities that we just picked up with Christian County. I know they've been exceeding their goals of what they thought that it would be in response. So that definitely adds up.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So once you guys have raised this money, this hopefully $50,000 plus, talk to me a little bit about interacting with the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. Getting this money to them and what that relationship has been like so far.
Sure. So again, that money will stay in our community. It doesn't
Yeah,
go to Dolly Parton because
gotcha,
we pay for the books.
gotcha.
So it stays local for
Hmm.
sure. But they're amazing. They're great. Everybody loves Dolly. We had the stand-up Dolly at the Clinton Chamber event last night, and everybody's just, I want to take a picture. And we had bookmarks and stickers for the kiddos. And I was pleasantly surprised. A lot of the people that we talked to and interacted with, they were already signed up.
Hmm.
But there was a handful of grandparents that are like, "Oh my gosh, I have to make sure my grandchild signed up for this." So the kids get really excited when they get that book in the mail. So.
Definitely. Well, are there any other things that we missed about the Power of the Purse event that's coming up on April 9th?
I think we pretty much covered everything. Again, uwdecatur.org to get your tickets. We have only about 20 tickets left.
Hmm.
So if people are interested, they need to jump on that for sure. It's been really fun just being out in the community and, seeing someone with a creative purse. And I'm like, oh, tell me about this purse. And also, we have this cool event coming up if you're interested.
Hmm.
So that's been my favorite part is there's something for everyone. It's excuse to grab some girlfriends, go get dressed up, kick these winter blues. Hopefully it'll be back to it's been so crazy weather lately from 80 to 40 and all that,
Hmm.
but hopefully it'll be leveled out here in a couple weeks and we'll get that spring feeling.
Definitely. Well, we had mentioned that you were at the Clinton Chamber of Commerce Business Expo last night and interacting with a lot of the community here in DeWitt County. I'm curious, what kind of things were you hearing from people? What kind of questions were you getting maybe that you didn't expect?
Well, it was kind of perfect too because we were right next to the library
Hmm.
and they have this really cool lizard, Luna the lizard. And they at the Clinton Library, they promote Dolly Parton Imagination Library as well.
Hmm.
So, if anybody's curious and can't find the sign up online, they can go directly to the library and they have QR codes and everything. So, no, it was just great interacting with people. We hung out with the mayor for a while and I personally learned a little bit about some of the programs for kiddos. I have twin 8-year-old boys, So talked to the Weldon Springs Foundation about some of their programming and things like that. But yeah, it's a great community, great to be involved, and we're excited to do more.
Yes. We had mentioned early on that you have been full-time with United Way since October. I'm curious what that experience has been like in this 6 months or so that you've had this full-time position. What's the job like, and where does your passion for working with United Way come from?
Absolutely. So this is my dream job. I have donated to the United Way since straight out of college, first job out of college, and never stopped through payroll deduction, which is so nice to have that feature because you really don't even miss that $5, $10, dollar paycheck, whatever people are willing to invest. And you know it's going to such great causes, and you know that your money is so well spent on these community programs. So that's kind of how I got involved. I was a donor, and then I was able to go on these community impact tours where I, again, really got to see where my investment went. So it's just been a very meaningful, impactful career choice, and I'm just so excited to do more and get the message out to people and raise as much money as possible to help people because that's what we're all about. Like I said, to give everyone the opportunity to be self-sufficient and be the best version of themselves they can be and take care of their families. So
Absolutely. Well, we are just about out of time, Emily. But once again, if people want to get connected with United Way, either to get connected with resources, to learn more, to donate, how can people do that?
uwdecatur.org.
Absolutely. Once again, that was Emily Phillips with United Way in Decatur on the WHOW Morning Show.